Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, January 4th. We're looking at the SPY ETF's market profile here on Window Trader, and certainly not the way the Bulls wanted to start the year, as they gap higher to an all-time high. You do not get the overnight all-time high, so our all-time high is still in the overnight, only to finish with a trend day down with three sets of single prints holding. We had 5 at one point. And more importantly for the short term, an outside day down. Volume right now, just under 100 million. So pretty good volume to start the year. As you can see, I'm in like 12 tick increments. So here's your previous 4 days on the SPY and the ES. Gapped higher above them. What happened once we got below the 4-day balance low? Look at the acceleration. So we had single prints in B, not big, but then once we took out the 4-day balance low, whoever was long of those 4 days, flush, shorts pile in. We got just above the previous, that all-time high from November. We held it, rallied off of it. Then we had some nice two-sided trade, a good part of the afternoon. The key to surviving today, as I told my room, is wait for two-sided trade. I kept, hopefully, just about everybody in my room away from being long at all until H period, when we finally took out G's high and stopped the one-time framing. I had an excellent day, most of it in the morning. Now, I did take some longs, but they were against very, very visual areas, which I'll get into in a moment, why I took them and why I told the room I took them. Let's go to the Russell quickly before we start. If I could find my mouse, that would help. There we go. So here's the Russell. Russell ends up 2 sets of single prints. They do end 9 wide though. They're 10 wide, but that's including N. But they do end 9 wide. Trend day down. Triple Qs, basically like us. Although we have 3 sets of single prints, they only have 2. D and C, they end only 8 wide like us. And again, look, same thing happened. Here's their 4-day balance. Got below it. As soon as you got below it, boom, flush out. All right, it's all. People are saying, well, is this longer-term traders? Again, there's always long-term traders in the market, but I still believe, for the most part, the market was controlled today by short-term traders because of the very visual areas we stopped at as we were trading lower. As far as my trades today. So, I didn't do anything when the market opened. I said if we get close, I might take a long, but once we saw the acceleration below the opening, instead of taking that long that I might take, I took the short to fill the single prints. Now, I traded January 8th trades until later in the day, which I'll go over. So right now, these were January 8th expiration. I took a 377 put to fill the gap. Worked out very nicely. Then once we filled the gap and we got down to around the trend, the price probe, I took a long. Took a 373 call. Now again, we're not trending right now, right? We have higher values still to start the day. So I took that 373 call play, which worked out. B period opens. B period took out A's low, but came back in. So at first I was like, we still have the trend day. I said B's high from Thursday is important. So I took a long against that, the 372 calls this time, and they worked out. But that's the last call I took until G, and I'll show you. Because, yes, we were one-time framing down, but we still didn't have single prints yet. I took that long against B's high, it worked. Once C opened and we had singles, I told the room, I am not looking for anything but shorts. So I took 373 puts in C, took 372 puts in D, and started riding these down and had very good morning. I didn't do anything in E or F. G period started. G did not take out F's low. I was like, well, I have that to lean on and I have November's high to lean on. So I took the 364 calls and I went to today's calls now that expired today, and it worked out. I was doing something when H took out G's high and it popped pretty quickly, so I missed that. I didn't want to chase it, so I didn't do anything. And then the only other trade I took was I, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe this is the afternoon rally high. Took a short and high. It worked out as we started resuming our downward move. And then that was it. I didn't do anything. Once I took that short off, I didn't do anything the rest of the afternoon. I just watched it as we had some pretty good chop throughout the afternoon. I had a short set up in M, never got it. Got close to where I wanted to take it against not filling these single prints and or not getting a half back, but didn't get to my level. I didn't take it. Finished the day and started the year off beautifully. Okay, destinations for tomorrow. Well, first one on the upside will be the single prints. Now I'm going to treat this as a double distribution day, from M's high down and from C's low up, even though there's 3 sets of singles. So 369.54, that's M's high to 82, fills the first set of single prints. Then we have the large one from D's high to B's low, 370.46, get filled at 372.14. That's a pretty large set, over 150 ticks. Then we have the last one, 372.61, C's high to A's low of 373.11. Today's high, an all-time high of 375.45, and the overnight all-time high of 376.74. For the downside, we don't have anything to today's low. We're 8 wide, I'm not counting it. I am not going to use K's low as an afternoon pullback. To have a trend day down and to say I want to use that, I'm not. So I'm not going to discount it totally tomorrow if we trade down there, but my first destination is today's low of 364.82. So right now that looks like, where do they have us closing? 368.97. So $4.50 away really. 364.82, and then the monthly low of 362.03. Charts. Monthly is still healthy. It's one time frame and up 3 months. We had a monthly gap to start, got filled, but right now it's healthy. What I don't want to do is take out last month's low. If you take out last month's low, we put all the time frames into balance. So 362.03, pretty important to hold. We did hold, though, at least the first time, that previous month's high of 364.83 from November. Weekly. Weekly is in balance. We fill the gap from last week. We gapped high this week. Now here's the danger of the weekly. It's only Monday, but unless we get back above 370.83, we would have an outside week down. Pretty negative. Again, it's only Monday. I think tomorrow, and more importantly Wednesday, once that vote hopefully is finalized, we're going to get more clarity. Daily, definitely an outside day down. Bearish to start. Pretty nice the way we came up off the lows, but we did have an outside day down. So we'll see if the single prints hold from today, and if they continue to try to at least push and test today's low. If we take out today's low and we look, this was a 4-day balance. I'm calling it balance, but starting tomorrow, if we want to at least hold, yes, today's low and keep inside that balance. We take out today's low, and now we're obviously going to test the bottom of this 20-day balance, and then we get even more concerned about the 50-day moving average and then this other 15-day balance, which would take us down to around the 350 level. I think tomorrow is going to, or Wednesday I should say, is going to play a huge part. If the Republicans win, then I think maybe all we're going to do is start carving out a really nice balance. If the Democrats sweep, then I don't think the damage is over. I think we do go take out last month's low to put all the time frames into balance and the daily to down. And then the big key is going forward, is it possible to have an outside month down? Is it possible to have an outside week down? Things to keep in mind. I hope you had a great start to the year trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.